Hello and welcome to the second episode of the SMN2 podcast. I am one of your four hosts, Better Rose. Joining me will be Just Random, who you may also know as Loki. Next, we have UM Eric, who is an awesome streamer. And finally, we have Nigel, one of the top metal grinder for the fourth and final fold. And today, we have a special guest, an awesome YouTuber and streamer named Beef21 Gaming.
So, for our first topic today, we are going to discuss Team Precision and our thoughts on the team. So, my thoughts on Team Precision are honestly very mixed because yes, I'm not in the team, but I played some of their levels. And honestly, I have a lot of mixed emotions with Team Precision just because the levels in it, one can get very, very challenging. Like with every team, but it's something that I kind of dislike and I kind of like at the same time because I feel like with a lot of Team Precision levels, they all feel very, very similar. Because one, you'll have letter precision, and then you'll have regular precision, which is all going to basically be like blue platform precision most of the time. That can get really boring. But for sure is that blue platform precision, letter precision, it all can be very enjoyable. Now ignore the Trump part of precision, just because Trump jumps are more Leto squad, and Team Precision is pretty solid, if I'm being totally honest.
My thoughts on team precision are that team precision levels are fantastic in my opinion. I like team precision.
My thoughts on Team Precision. I find Team Precision is a decent team. Personally, I find it not as fun as Team Shell or Team Jamp, but they're still a pretty good team. I find there's definitely varying levels of Team Precision, from basic jumps with piranha plants to Trump jumps, even though that is a little bit like Lego Squad. But yeah, I find it very challenging sometimes, and I find the community is pretty good. And yeah,
So my thoughts on Team Christian. I think it's a good team in general, even though I probably like more Team Shell or Team Gem. Like I think the community in Team Precision is less big because like Kaizo are more popular. But I still think it's a great community. Like Piranha Plant jumps can be very fun, even though they can be very tough. But like yeah, it's kind of hard, but some people like it, some others don't. So it really depends of the people if they like it or not.
My thoughts on Team Precision are that it has lots of very challenging levels, but when you finally beat them, it feels very good, and you can play levels of your chosen difficulty. And as a member of Team Precision, I love to play levels from time to time. I also make precision levels, so they're really fun to make and play, and that's really all.
Okay, so now we're gonna talk about our Team Jump. Team Jump is a team that makes more not casual level like Team Shell, but more like platforming one. They're pretty fun and they're kind of easy, which is very good I think for like beginners who start Skyzo or people that just aren't that good and just want to have some fun. I think seriously it's one of the best teams of the game. They even made a big super world about this with multiple creators from the team, and that turned out great. I played it and I loved it. To be honest, I think it's one of the best team of the game, if not the best of the game.
Okay, my opinion on Team Jump is that it's a great team. I like Team Jump levels. I played a lot of Team Jump levels. I enjoy Team Jump. I'm in the Team Jump Discord server. I played nearly, I think, 1,000 Team Jump levels. I'm gonna check right now. Hold on. Let me check very, very quickly. It shouldn't take too long. And when I'm checking here, it just says my token is expired. So we're not actually going to be checking. But let me just say, I nearly have 1,000, I think, levels cleared in Team Jump. A lot of them are pretty easy levels, but it doesn't matter. I have played like a few decently hard levels. Not nothing too difficult, but eh. I drew. Team Jam is probably my favorite team out of the three we're going to be talking about today. Like my second favorite would probably be Team Precision, and then Team Shell, which I will be getting into later on. But Yeah, yeah. Team Jump, very cool. Very cool.
So my thoughts on Team Jamp are pretty similar to Team Precision, as they are both, in my opinion, really cool teams. Now, though, I would prefer Team Jamp over Team Precision, kind of by a lot, though, because Team Jamp, I much prefer Kaizo style levels, especially platforming Kaizo, because Precision, I used to enjoy it a lot before I started playing Kaizo and such, because I really liked to make those tight jumps, and get past those saws and past the spikes and stuff like that. But really, over time, I just started to get really liking to Team Jamp. There's so many great levels in the team. Super Team Jamp World is probably the coolest world made by a bunch of creators, I think, in the game. I mean, I think, what is it? They did with every single level's a different creator. 32 creators it took to make that world. Maybe 40, I forget. But yeah, with Team Jamp, so many great creators, especially someone like Drawlt, who makes some of my favorite levels in the game. He's an awesome Team Jamp creator. And those are my thoughts on Team Jamp.
Okay, so my thoughts on Team Jump are pretty, whatever. But because I don't really play a lot of Team Jump levels, but in my opinion, they can be really fun to play regularly or just something just to do because it's really fun to play and it's not too hard. Like not much trial and error like Team Precision and Team Shell. Also, it's just way more fun overall than something that would take probably like hours to beat, and it can just be something fun to do, unlike hard stuff all the time. So yeah, that's my opinions.
My thoughts on Team Jamp. Team Jamp is a really good community who takes lots of time to making their levels and to making them not jank and have make the player experience the best that they can. All of their levels are well designed and well thought out, and each is handcrafted to be very fun. There are really good Team Jamp creators, such as Gerald, and they are very good in Team Jamp. Team Jamp's just really good for making players work their way up to harder levels. There's like Team Shell, and I think it's a really good way for players to become better.
So, for the last topic of the day, we're gonna talk. Team Shell is another team in Super Mario Maker 2. We'll focus more with a level with shell jumps, etc. They use Koopa and Buzzy Beetles Spiny to make the shell jumps, and I think they really make awesome ones. This level, most of them are very creative, using all kinds of shell jumps. There's normal shell jumps, reclaims, double shell jumps, and all kind of them. There's so many I can't even name them all. Mixing them together to make some unique level from super easy to extremely hard. Some of them, they also have a point system. I think on Discord they have a server, and like the harder the levels are, the most points you get when you beat them, and vice versa. And that is actually pretty cool. And like, I think they really have a good idea. And like Team Gem, I think they are some of the best team in the game.
My opinion on Team Shell is that it's a great team. There's nothing wrong with it. However, it's not much of a team for me. I'm not the greatest at shell jumps. I can do shell jumps. I've done probably a lot of shell jumps through the time I've played this game, but I've never been the most consistent at them. I'm sometimes really good at them. I'm sometimes really terrible at them. It feels like it depends on how much I sleep. It's weird, but sometimes if I sleep a little bit longer than usual, I'm better at shell jumps. It is really weird, but I digress. Team Shell has a lot of cool members in it. I have met quite a few in the past. It's great. Players who can do like the hardest shell levels are fantastic at the game, and it's very cool to watch. Like I might not be the biggest fan of shell jumps, but I think it is very cool to watch those who can do shell jumps well. It's like going on Twitch or just watching a video on YouTube of someone being able to do like a lot of shell tricks in a row. It's fantastic. It's very cool to watch. I think Team Shell, even though it's probably my least favorite team, it's still a great team. Like out of the three that we cover here today, I think it's still a great team. Me saying it's my like least favorite of the three doesn't mean it's a bad team in any means. It's great.
So my thoughts on Team Shell are not really mixed at all. Team Shell is overall my favorite team in the game, and it really isn't even close. I love doing Sheldums. I love all the different kinds of Sheldums. I love the makers in Team Shell. I love going on YouTube or Twitter and finding some really awesome clips of people doing juggle levels. Watching when I first saw the clip of Verdant was unbelievable. That is the hardest level, juggle level I've ever seen and ever made. I mean, that is the definition of task juggling in Mario Maker 2. And that's what brings this communities together is really with Team Shell is you have a community that all love hard levels. And that's what really makes the community great. You have a bunch of cool creators, you have a bunch of cool levels, and really, Team Shell is awesome. That is my opinion on Team Shell.
My thoughts on Team Shell. Team Shell is a wonderful team. Definitely creates the hardest of the levels, in my opinion, of the three teams that we're talking about today. The community is great. I myself am in Team Shell, and I've made some pretty insane levels for it. Team Shell is a great community. They all try to make really hard levels, and some on the easier side for the ones that just got past, like, beating really hard Team Jam style levels. Learning all the tech and timing and the juggling side of Team Shell is really fun and is really great. It's always satisfying to beat a really tough gel level. Team Shell is definitely my favorite team in Mario Maker 2 and is one of the only reasons that I'm still motivated to play the game.
My thoughts on Team Shell is Team Shell is a Kaizo team with a load of levels. It has a difficulty of levels that are from easiest to hardest. In my opinion, they can be rewarded and fun with a little challenge, depending on what you choose. And while you beat the courses, you will find out how fun it could be, and I highly recommend it. You can also find a bunch of unique creators and maybe even your favorite Team Shell levels. And while grinding points, it may be even more fun doing that. You may find nice people in the Discord server, and that about does my opinion on Team Shell.
Alright, well that about does it. Thank you all for tuning in on this episode of the Super Mario Maker 2 podcast. The links to the hosts and Beef21 will be in the description if you would like to go check them out. Have a good one. From us, the four hosts.